Hi there, and welcome to your next yoga class, and welcome back if you've joined me before. My name is Lizzie of LizzieKingYoga.com, and this is a funky Vinyasa flow. You don't need any props per se, but if you do like to use blocks or props or anything within your personal practice that helps guide your personal practice and aid your personal practice, go ahead and grab those now. And before we begin, I just want to acknowledge that by liking, subscribing, or commenting, you guys help me know that you like what I'm putting out for you and that the content's working for you. So if there's anything else that you would like to see from LizzieKingYoga.com, please give me a comment below and let me know so I can continue to give you guys what you need. So go ahead and unroll your mat and we'll meet back here. Today we're going to begin in a nice child's pose. So come on down to your shins. You can take your child's pose with your legs together or you can spread them out apart. I personally have really tight hips, so I always spread my thighs apart so I can let the torso fall heavy to the earth between them, but it's your choice. So we'll start to settle in by reaching our hands out in front of us and drawing the forehead down to the mat. Start to allow your armpits and the upper arms to relax down towards the mat. And start to bring your awareness to your breath. Take a few moments here to just observe without judgment. Observe the quality of your breath. Observe where you feel tension. And then let's begin to deepen our breaths. So nice slow inhales and exhales through the nose. Maybe you start to even out those inhales and exhales. And maybe you let those exhales let a little bit of that tension go. So today I want us to think about having an open heart and allowing that heart to provide us an open mind. So by taking a few more rounds of breath here to come into the present moment, let's start to take inventory of where we can find change to open our hearts. We're currently going through a very adverse time in our world and our nation, if you're living in America. So where can we take this time to observe not only what's going on around us, but to go internal and to find that change that we wish to feel, or the change that we need to find? Where can we start to open up our hearts to let in the new, the different perspective, the different actions, the different routines, and allow ourselves to release what's holding us back, the stagnant thoughts and energy. So whether you're changing for you and opening up your heart for you, or you're doing it for those around you, maybe it's to meet goals, maybe it's to live through a dream, or maybe it's just to be a positive light that the world needs. Start to slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Come up into your tabletop. Shoulders over elbows over wrists. Fingertips are spread wide. Hips are over the knees. Toes untuck. You can pitter patter the tops of the feet into the mat just to start to wake everything up here. Our fingertips are spread wide, so we're able to plug our fingers into the mat like we're gripping down so we can take the brunt of the weight off the heel of our hands. On an inhale, belly drops, heart lifts, shoulders expand. We're moving through some cat-cow, so cow pose here. Use your exhale to push into the mat to round through the shoulders and to tuck the chin into the chest. Inhale, belly drops, heart lifts, tailbone lifts. Feel that expansion through your belly. Exhale, tuck your chin, dome out your back. Inhale, heart shines forward. Exhale, round it out. Continue with your own breath for a few more rounds of this, and feel free to invite any additional movement that feels good to you. So maybe you start swinging the hips side to side. Maybe you make some spinal circles. Maybe it's movement within the head or the shoulders. Taking one last inhale here. Exhale to let it go. Left hand comes under the nose. Right arm blows up and open. Find and feel your twist. Take a couple breaths here in this twist. Make circles with the wrist. Flex and point the fingers. And just start to wake up that support system that holds so much of our weight throughout our practice. Take a deep inhale and use your exhale to thread it under. So we're going to thread that right arm underneath the left armpit area. We're going to keep that left hand stabilizing as we start to bring the right cheek, ear, shoulder, etc. down onto the mat. Left hand can stay underneath the shoulder as it is. Stretch out in front or reach around for a bind variation in the low back area. If you're not really feeling an opening through the shoulder blades or the upper back, you can start to push the outside of the right hand into the mat a little bit more to deepen your twist here. Or you can use the left hand into the mat for leverage to do the same. Start to bring the left hand back underneath the shoulder if it's not already there. Push into the mat, blow the right arm up and open. And then exhale, let it go. Inhale, left hand sweeps up. Make those circles with the wrist. And then we'll thread it under. Left cheek, ear, and shoulder, find the mat. Right hand can stretch out or wrap around. Start to slide that right hand back underneath the shoulder, push into the mat. Left arm blows up and open for a twist. Can you twist a little bit deeper this time? Exhale, let it go. Tuck the toes and then start to roll the heels down towards the earth as you send the hips up for your first downward facing dog of the day. Take a few breaths here to pedal out the feet or do whatever feels good to you to start to settle into this space. Just like in our tabletop, fingers are spread nice and wide, gaze is up towards the thighs. Heels are trying to reach down towards the earth, but no big deal if they don't get there. And then use your inhale to gaze up towards the hands. Use your exhale to travel to the top of your mat. Find your Uttanasana forward fold at the top of your mat by letting the crown fall heavy towards the earth and shifting the weight forward into the balls of your feet. Keep a bend in the knees as much as you need to. And now we can start to invite our own little flare here. So you can take opposite elbows behind the head. You can let the hands fall heavy. You can swing side to side. You can alternate which knee you bend into. Take a few more rounds of breath here, just really letting anything go. Touching back to what we talked about when we were in the child's pose. Removing that tension from the body. And with every physical act of finding that tension leaving the body, we can start to envision the stagnant energy and thoughts leaving our minds. We can let it all go right here on our mats. Let the hands fall heavy if they're not already there. Find stillness if you are rocking side to side. And be the last one there to inhale up to rise. So again, here we go, taking this time to just kind of take note of what our body needs. Let your head and shoulders come up last. Take a few breaths, just rolling the shoulders up into the ears and then relaxing them down behind you, pulling the shoulder blades together. Shoulders roll up into the ears. Relax them down as you exhale. One more time, roll them up and roll them down and together. Feel the shoulder blades pull together as you expand through the chest here. So that's what I want you to keep in mind throughout our practice today. Even when we have our arms up, we can find that subtle adjustment to feel that expansion between the ears and the neck by pulling the shoulder blades together and pulling things down the back. So inhale the arms up to frame the ears. Find a nice deep, 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 deep reach. Interlace the fingers. Relax the index fingers out of that bind. Cross the thumbs. Kali Mudra. Inhale for length through the spine and then exhale to dip over to the right. So we're dipping the upper body to the right for a half moon stretch. Left hip will push towards that left side wall. Left shoulder will pull back. Breathe space into the ribs as they open up from one another. Come back through center. Inhale, reset by stacking the spine, reaching for length, and then exhale, take it to the other side. Come back through center. Take a deep inhale. Let your exhale bring you down for your forward fold. Plant the hands. Inhale to lift your heart halfway. Exhale to release the head and hands down. Step back, find your high plank. Shift forward and let the elbows hug into the ribs just like your chaturanga as you lower all the way down onto your belly. From here, right arm reaches straight out from the shoulder. Take a look and make sure it's straight out from the shoulder rather than up or down. Left hand comes underneath the left shoulder. Push into the left hand as you start to bend into the left knee. Then you'll start to roll over onto the right side, stepping the left foot behind the right from this perspective. Opening up through that front side of that right shoulder. Come back through center. Left hand out from the left shoulder. Right hand under the right shoulder. Start to bend into the right knee and take this on the other side. If you have to adjust the arm once you find this rock backwards to open up more through the chest and the shoulder, you're welcome to it. And then we'll roll back through center. Bring both hands underneath the shoulders. You have a few options here. You can tuck the toes, lift the knees, engage the quads, and pull the belly into the spine and push up through to your high plank. Or you can come onto the knees and push up to your tabletop. Or you can come onto the knees and kind of roll all the way up, making it a little bit more simple to find your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, toes flex down to the earth, hips are square. As you exhale, bring the knee towards the nose and step it between the hands. Warrior one on the inhale, so the back foot will come down, the heels are in alignment with one another, and the back toes are out about 45 degrees. We've got a nice 90-degree bend in the front knee, or maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit smaller because we send it back rather than sending it forward. So we just want to be mindful that our knee is over our ankle in some capacity. Started to head to warrior two there. Sweep the arms up to frame the ears. Our hips are trying to square forward, but no big deal if they don't get there. But you can literally reach down and kind of see where they're at and see if you have that space to adjust. Maybe by pulling the left hip forward a bit. Shoulders relax away from the ears as you feel your chest expand. Reach behind. Interlace the fingers. Use your inhale to gaze up towards the ceiling. Feel that bind reach down towards the earth, and then exhale to hinge to your humble warrior. Binded grip reaches up and overhead as your torso comes to the inside of the right leg and your right shoulder comes to the inside of the right thigh. If this is too much, The grip can come down to the low back and rest on the sacrum. With the hands guiding you up, inhale to rise up all the way. So the arms back up, find that warrior one. Lift the back heel, pivot the back toes, find your high crescent lunge. From here, open up the elbows, goddessing the arms, so we pull them out like cactus arms or goalpost arms. Start to pull the elbows together behind you, opening up through the chest. And then with control, nice and slow, we'll exhale to lower all the way down, finding our Anjaneyasana. Left knee comes down, left toes untuck. Inhale, take a mini back bend, shift your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release the hands down. Left hand stays, right arm blows up and open, find and feel your twist. Take a deep inhale here, exhale, let it go. Sweep the arms back up, exalted warrior. Left hand stays, right arm reaches up and behind for the back leg, opening up through the entire left front side of the hips. Use your exhale to windmill back down, find your runner's lunge, tuck the toes, lift the back knee. From here, we'll step back and find our downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale towards the nose here with the knee and then step in between. Warrior one, so our heel to heel alignment. Inhale to rise, arms frame the ears. Once again, we check in with those hips and we see where we can create a little bit more space. We see where we can find a little bit more improvement on the pose to start to open up and strengthen. Reach behind to interlace the fingers. Inhale, open up your heart space towards the ceiling. Reach that binded grip down. Feel the arms pulled together behind you. And then exhale to hinge. Binded grip reaches up and over. Using the hands to guide you up, inhale to rise. Arms sweep up. Lift the back heel, turn the back toes, high crescent. Goddess out the elbows. Feel your heart expand. Right knee lowers down, right toes untuck. Mini back bend, gaze up towards the ceiling. Keep the belly pulling into the spine. Stay with that control. Exhale, let it go. Bring the hands down. Right hand stays, left arm blows up and open. Find and feel your twist. And then we'll windmill back up. Finding exalted. So right arm stays up and overhead. Left hand reaches back to that back leg. Breathe into the space that you're creating in the front side of the body. Use your inhale to take you to the exhale to bring both hands down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, send it back for downward facing dog. Once again, right foot between the hands, warrior one on the rise. Take a moment here to set up eagle arms. So right arm sweeps under the left as we bring the palms together. Reach that binded grip up towards the nose. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then nice and slow, exhale, let it go. Sweep the arms up. Lift up and open, warrior two. So the back foot pivots, so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Belly pulls into the spine. This time the hips are squaring to your side wall. Shoulders relax away from the ears as you extend the arms straight out from them. Gaze goes over the front fingertips. Take an inhale to straighten through the right leg. Trikonasana on your exhale, triangle pose. Shoulders stack, arms are still straight out from the shoulders. Let's check in with our left shoulder here. So let's be mindful not to let it cave in. Let's start to expand and take our hands up as high as we need to, up that right leg to find that expansion and to find that shoulder stack. Start to root down into the feet for strength. Fire up the core and obliques and windmill up, warrior two, bend into the right knee. Pivot all 10 toes towards the wall. Take up space, star pose. Relax the hands down, start to bend into the right knee, finding Skandasana. So we'll lift up onto the right toes, lifting the heel up towards the glutes, bringing the glutes down towards the heel. Left leg is extended long out to the side, left toes flex up to the face. Right hand will stay here on our mat on the inside of that right thigh as we blow the left arm up and open for a twist. Reach, 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 reach. And then relax that left hand down. Start using your hands to find that yogi walk to the front of the mat. So our right foot leads in what looks like a runner's lunge. Then we relax the left knee down. We untuck the left toes. Sending our glutes all the way back onto that left heel. We keep the right leg extended out in front of us and flex the right toes up to the face. In an Ardha Hanumanasana variation. So we'll start to walk the hands out towards the foot, keeping the toes flexed up towards the face, keeping our shoulders relaxing away from our ears and our heart opening up towards our toes. Spine is long here as you start to open up to the entire back side of this right leg. Maybe you close your eyes here as you start to lose the tension within your body. And then nice and slow, we'll start to roll forward and we'll find that Anjaneyasana. Right sole of the foot comes down to the earth as we push up onto the left shin. Bring both hands down to frame the right foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your left knee. Start to straighten through the right leg, pyramid pose. Keep a micro bend in the right knee here as we don't want to hyperextend anything or pull anything. And just like in our Ardha Hanumanasana where we just left, we want to keep our heart expanding. We want to keep our spine long. So be mindful not to roll over this leg. Be super active in allowing the torso to fall over the right leg. Start to bring your awareness back to your toes. Start to bring the hands back to the mat if they left it, around the right foot. And then we're going to push into the mat for strength as we send our right leg back for three-legged dog. Shift forward, find your high plank. Keep that right leg lifted. Take a one-legged vinyasa. Arriving back to downward facing dog. Left foot will step forward, warrior one, as we inhale to rise. Finding our eagle arms, left arm comes underneath the right, palms face together, elbows lift up in front of the nose. And then start to relax the hands back away and lift up and open warrior two. Front heel is in alignment with the back instep. Legs are energetically pulling towards one another. Be mindful, again, that that belly's pulling into the spine and our pelvis is tucked. Use our inhales here to straighten through the left leg. Trikonasana on the other side. You already know to stack your shoulders, right? So do you know that you can start to push that left hand into the inner thigh or the inner leg to start to find that opening up a little bit more? Gaze goes up towards the hand if that feels okay with the neck. Feet root down into the mat. Core is engaged. Obliques are fired up as we windmill up to warrior two. Turn all 10 toes towards your side wall. Take up space, star pose. Skandasana into the left leg. Hands relax down as we bend into the left knee and find that toe stand variation. With that right leg extended long out to our side. Toes reach up towards the ceiling and flex up towards our face. Left hand will stay, right arm will blow up and open for your twist. Use your exhale to relax that down and find that yogi walk to the front. Moving into that Ardha Hanumanasana variation, the right knee comes down, the right toe is untucked. We start to sit our booty back down onto the heel, keeping the left leg extended long in front of us. Take a moment to inhale to find that length, and then start to walk the hands out towards the foot, framing the foot with the hands if at all possible. Take a deep inhale here and use your exhale to start to unwind, rolling the left foot down. Hands come out to frame the front foot as we tuck the back toes and lift the back knee, sending that left leg straightened up towards the hip for our pyramid pose. We're still relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, and we're finding that micro bend in the left knee. Start to bring your hands out to frame the front foot if they're not already there. Push into the mat for strength, and then send that left leg up and back for three-legged dog. Shift forward, find your high plank, one-legged vinyasa as we find our way to our downward facing dog. Inhale, look up towards the hands. Exhale to travel the feet to meet the hands. Inhale to halfway lift. And then exhale to let it go. Heel toe the feet out to the outside edges of the mat. Let your toes turn out. Send the hips down and send the booty down for Malasana. Hands at heart center, elbows to the insides of the thighs. So come up onto the toes here. Bring the hands down to the earth and start to send the hips up to meet in a forward fold, or a wide leg forward fold, I should say. And then we'll send the hips back down, meeting back in that Malasana. Again, you are welcome to stay up onto the toes if that helps you. Straighten through the legs, find that fold. Lower back down, Malasana. Continue this with your own breath for a few more rounds. You can exhale down and inhale up. And from our last Malasana, we'll send the hips up, heel to them back into the midline to hip distance. Keep the right foot planted and set the left foot back. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high crescent lunge. Hands come down to heart center. We're taking a twist. Normally when we take a twist over that front leg, we hook the elbow. This time we're coming to the inside of the thigh. So we're going to bring our hands to heart center. We're going to pivot and pull the crown forward towards the front wall, and then we're going to twist over to the right. Prayers come inside of the right thigh. Start to come back up through center with control. Lift up and open, warrior two. Windmill the arms down. Take a moment in your runners to frame the front foot. Left foot will propel up for standing split. If you have handstand in your practice, or you're working towards handstand, or you have handstand hops in your practice, you're welcome to play around with that right now. Of course, use your own caution and awareness. Take one more breath here. And then with control, we're going to start to lower that left leg back down without touching the mat. Can you sweep the body up? And start to draw the left knee into the chest for one-legged mountain. Take one more breath here. Exhale, let it go. Step the feet out, swing the hips side to side if that feels good. And then we'll take our forward fold as we exhale. Left foot stays where it is, right foot steps back. Sweep the arms up, high crescent. Hands come down to heart center. Finding that twist, we start to tilt the crown towards the front wall, and then we exhale to take that twist to the inside of the thigh. Belly pulls into the spine for control. Feet are grounding down. Start to lift back up, lift up and open, warrior two. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale to windmill down. Pause in your runners. Roll off the right toes. Propel the right leg up. Standing split. If you want to challenge yourself, you can wrap the hands around the ankle without the support of your hands for balance. And then with control, we'll start to lower the right leg down, sweeping it forward and up for our one-legged mountain. Little balance challenge. Belly pulls into the spine. And then exhale to release it down. Start to heel toe the feet outside of the mat with the toes flexing out, lowering back down into Malasana. And then we'll reach behind and lower down onto our sits bones. Take a moment here to bring the soles of the feet down to the mat, bend into the knees, hands come behind the thighs. Find a nice long spine and then lift the legs to find your boat pose. And then with control, start to lower all the way down onto your mat. Hug both knees into the chest, rock side to side. Then we'll relax the feet back down. Thighs come parallel to one another into the midline, inside the hips or hip level. Soles of the feet are on the mat. As you push into the soles of the feet, start to lift the hips. Feel the quads and the glutes fire up and engage to support you as you push the hips up towards the ceiling and roll up onto the shoulders to open up through your heart for your bridge pose. Use your exhale to lower down. Feet can come to the outside edges of the mat. You can let the knees knock in and you can rock side to side or windshield wiper side to side. Winding down to our last little bit here. So I guess it wasn't that funky, but just a little bit different than the average flow. And then we'll start to hug both knees in. Reach around for the outside of the feet and find your happy baby. So soles of the feet go up towards the ceiling like you're trying to walk on the ceiling. Knees come towards the armpits. You can rock side to side here. You can make circles with the knees or you can start to straighten through the legs, opening up a little bit more to the inner thighs. Start to let the feet go. And then let the knees fall over, keeping the soles of the feet onto the mat, keeping the knees bent. Let the knees fall over to the right. You can stretch the arms straight out from the shoulders so you can gaze over to the left to find a little bit deeper of a twist. And then come back through center and let the legs fall over to the other side. Come back through center. Straighten the legs out and start to prepare yourself for your final posture, your corpse pose, your shavasana. Let the feet splay out to the outside edges of the mat. Let the hands fall out to the outside edges of your body. Slightly tuck the chin into the chest to elongate through your cervical spine, behind the head. Let your shoulders, your hips, and your ankles fall heavy into the earth. Release any tension between your temples. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth, the jaw if it's clenched. And if thoughts arise, acknowledge them and dismiss them. This is your time. There's nothing you can do about them right now. take these last few moments of total relaxation that you deserve. Start to bring your awareness back into your space. Maybe you wiggle the fingers, maybe you wiggle the toes, maybe you stretch the arms up overhead. Or maybe you do none of that. Hey! And you're welcome to stay here on your back. Otherwise, take a moment to stretch any arm up overhead or maybe both and roll over onto a comfortable side. Keeping the eyes closed, ground down through that upper hand, and just take a moment to send yourself gratitude for opening up your heart today, for welcoming change, for using this time of adversity to find the change. Whether it's change for your routine, change for your thoughts, create space to invite that in. Whether it's change to benefit your life or to reach a goal or to help others. Open up your heart and create that space. Find that faith. Take the steps. Keeping the eyes closed, begin to push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Take a moment to sweep the arms up overhead, drawing them together above the crown, gathering all the energy and the ability that you created today. Draw that down through your third eye into your heart space. Connect it to the heart. Thank you for allowing me to guide you in your practice today. Thank you for being here on your mat. And thank you for sharing your open heart with me. The light in me honors, loves, and appreciates the light in you. Namaste. As always, yogis, thank you very much for joining me and unrolling your mat with me. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope that you have a day full of light and love. See you next time.